Hi guys, how's it going? So welcome back to my channel. I just recorded a couple of TikToks. Hopefully they turn out okay. I know I look like crap. Don't care. This is my life now. I tried to put on a clean sweatshirt for you guys. I didn't do my hair or anything else. So this is what you get. I'm here for my January wrap-up, which isn't a lot of books. It's only 7 books, but it is like 3,500 pages. So they're big thickers. I guess I'll just get started and show you what I have been reading. All right, so the first books that I got through were One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I've read so many books that have a similar feel. So if you've read Belladonna, it's similar. If you've read Immortal and what is that one? The ones that look like brains and hearts, those ones have a similar feel. They're very gothic, they're very dark. They all kind of read like YA. These ones are adults, but they do kind of read like YA. There is a little bit of sexy time in here, but very, very little. The premise of these ones is that they live in a world full of magic, and very few people have innate magic. They have to get sick with this flu, and the flu gives them magical powers. But because the ruling kingdom is worried about people having said flu, they usually kill the children. And so this book is about a girl who was hidden away when she got sick because she wasn't showing any signs of power. She does have power, but nobody knows it because nobody knows what's going on with her. And the books are about this group of people trying to stop the injustices that are happening in their world. They're good books. It did take me a quick second to remember what they were about because they do have a very similar feel to a lot of the books that I've read recently. And I think that just might be what is in right now is these dark Gothic books. I love the dark Gothic books, but they are definitely bleeding together in my brain and becoming one book. So it has been difficult for me to remember which ones are which ones. I gave them both 4 stars. I thought they were really good. I had a good time reading them. They weren't the best thing I've ever read, so definitely weren't a 5, but they were better than mediocre, so they were better than a 3. So I give them a solid 4 stars each. I am starting to learn my type better, so I have been reading less lower starred books and more upper starred books, which I think is great. The next book that I read is Written in the Stars. This one was a 5. It was very, very cute. I really like these cute little fluffy romances. This one's sapphic. It's about 2 girls who are doing a fake dating thing. And as we know, fake dating being one of the most common tropes out there, they will really fall in love. And I think it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. Alexandra Bellafleur has several books in this series. I think she's up to number 3 now, and I had this one and then I have 3. I do not have 2, but the only reason I have 3 is because I got it for inexpensive at a library book at a half price books. I almost said library book sale. Or I got it from Book Outlet. I don't remember, but I do have the 3rd one and I did get it for inexpensive. This one I got at half price. It's definitely not perfect, but it was super cute. And if I ever find a cheap copy of it in perfect condition, I will trade up. But until then, I have a little bit beat up copy. But it was really good. It was really cute. It was, if you are into the sapphic fluffy romance, definitely do something like this. This one was really good. I also did this one. It's called a Spindle Splintered. A Spindle Splintered. I'll put it here. It was by Alex E. Harrow. I think these are some of their first books. It was a little duology of short stories. I finished the first one. I gave it a 2. It was okay. I think I gave it a 2.5, so I gave it a 3 on Goodreads, but it definitely is not a high ranking one. It was fairly boring the entire way through. It's about a Sleeping Beauty trope retelling where this girl has this weird illness and it makes her possibly pass away, and she jumps into another world where there's another Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty type girl who is supposed to go into a 100-year slumber if she pricks her finger, and it's their story. It was okay. It definitely wasn't something that I would write home about. It wasn't bad. I just didn't like it. So that's why I was giving it like a 2.5, because it wasn't bad by any means. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't for me. I started the second one because I was told the second one was better than the first one, and I just couldn't do it. So I DNF'd the rest of the series. And that was my first DNF for the year. I'm sure there'll be plenty more because I DNF books regularly. I have too many and I need to cut them down, and that one was from the library anyways, but it is an Alexia Harrow and I wanted to try to get a feel for her writing. The book was fine. It just wasn't for me. The next set though, if you know, it is now currently the 5th of February, and if you know what recently came out, these books will not become a surprise. The first book in the pile. I do not trust Sarah J. Maas at all. She has put me through too many horrible cliffhangers that I've had to wait for the last book to come out. I had to wait for Kingdom of Ash to come out. I was not going to have to wait for another book to come out. I thought this one was going to be part of another trilogy. I have done such a good job ignoring all of the spoilers for the rest of her books that I didn't know this was basically a standalone. That Nesta's story encapsulates one single book instead of a trilogy of books. So I put this off and put this off and put this off. And Nikki told me, go ahead and read it. It's a singular book. You do not have to wait for more books, but you do need to read this before you start Crescent City. I said, cool. So I read it and I adored it. The spine is all nice and creased up now. I have had this book for a very long time. This particular copy I've only had for a couple of months, but I have had the book for a long time. I actually have the tour edition. So I have had it since it came out. But I finally got to it and I'm so glad I did. I know that this one's getting a lot of hate, but I don't understand why. I love Nesta and her journey is spectacular. I did see someone online talking about how if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you never will. And I think it has to do with having family issues. If you were raised in a happy, loving family, you may not understand this book. But if you were raised in a family like mine, I was abused as a child. My mom left me on a street corner when I was 10 years old for my dad to come pick me up. My dad was great. I love my dad. But it was a very difficult childhood. I don't remember most of it because of it. And reading this and hearing Nesta's side of the story and seeing her go through being loved by her mother, but only for what she could gain from her, to her relationship with her father and her sisters and all the crap that she got put through, I thought that this one was amazing. But it is very hit and miss. You may hate the book. I loved it. I've been through some crap in my life and Nesta spoke to me. So this one was awesome for me. It is a wee bit smuttier than the other books in the series. So if you are not a smut reader, keep that in mind. But because I read that one in order to get to Crescent City, guess what I read next? Both of them. This one I finished on the 31st, hours before the start of February. So I read both of them. I am most of the way, I'm in part 3 of the third one right now. I am definitely glad that I read this one first. If you know, you know. If you don't, I will not spoil it for you. So this book is about Bryce, At the very beginning of the book, Bryce loses her best friend in a terrible like tragedy, and she spends the rest of the book trying to understand what happened with her best friend, why this happened. There's a whole backstory to it, and to tell you any more would really spoil the book. However, if you have read ACOTAR and realized that the first book of ACOTAR, the Court of Thorns and Roses, was basically a prequel to the rest of the series, that's what this one is. Apparently, since leaving Throne of Glass and leaving this epic 7-book huge series, she's going for these short trilogies that the first book is basically a prequel to the rest of the books. So this one is very much a prequel to this one. I did power read these, so I read each of them in a couple of days. They are 800 pages each, and I am probably 4 days into reading the third one, and I am to that point now where I could probably finish it tonight if I really went for it. I don't know if I will. We will see, but as of right now, we are kind of powering through, and that's what we did with these ones. I was determined to finish this one before February, and I had a good third of it left when I started it on the 31st, and we finished it at about 10 o'clock at night, that same night. So I definitely powered through these ones because A, I wanted to get to the third one, and B, I was really enjoying them. Again, I've had this one since it came out. I do not have the tour edition of this one. I do have the tour edition of this one. I don't know if I missed the tour edition or if it was one of those ones where you actually had to go to the book signings. But the rest of them I didn't. I just had to order them online and they came to me. I was kind of bummed there wasn't one for the third one. But I have had these since day one, and I've just been holding on to them because I know how Sarah is and my trust for her. This one proves me right. Since the third one's out, you can go ahead and read these ones if you're like me. If you're like me and you've been waiting to read these books because you didn't want to be left with a massive, horrible cliffhanger, then it's okay. I have the third one now. And apparently that one's supposed to be the end of this part of the series. There will be more books in the Crescent City, but just like this one, it's not going to be for a while, and it won't be directly related. So the main plot in this one will be finished on the third book, which I'm looking forward to, and they're gearing up for right now where I'm at in the series. I gave them both 5 stars. I don't know if they deserved 5 stars, but I gave them both 5 stars because I really did enjoy them both. I am a slut for Sarah books. I will continue to read them. The only thing my only big note of discourse with this series is Bryce. Bryce feels like Aelin. Like she went through and rewrote Bryce with slightly different powers and a different mate, but still Aelin. This one does. It's just, I don't know what it is about her. I understand Aelin is an assassin and Bryce is just a party girl, but they're basic down to their core. She seems to write very similar protagonists, and this one does feel a lot like Aelin. And that is my biggest note of frustration, is that I feel like I've read this protagonist before, because I have read almost every book that Sarah has come out with. I just need to finish off number 3 and read Catwoman, and I'm done. So I don't know. Take that where you will. I will give it 5 stars because I love it, but there is that note of annoyance that I feel like I have read this particular protagonist before. So that is it for my January wrap up. Like I said, I read 7 books, but I got more than 3,500 pages. I think the actual number was 37 and some change. But that number's upstairs and I don't want to go get it. So maybe the editing me can put it here for you, but the editing me also has no brain. So we'll see if that actually happens. And I will talk to you again soon. My next video is going to be a haul for January. I know that you guys just saw a huge haul. This one is considerably smaller. This one will fit in one piece. So please come back for that, and I will see you guys again soon. I do want to do another vlog because I miss vlogging a lot. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And if there's any particular book or series that you want me to read in that vlog, let me know that too. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.